Hi everybody, welcome back again to the Office of Historic Preservation's series of videos on Bristoe County history. I'm John McDonald and I'm here today with Mayor Earnie Porta of Occoquan. And our video today is going to be highlighting some of the stories of the damage and the rebirth Occoquan experienced 50 years ago in the wake of Hurricane Agnes. So, Ernie, you're kind of one of our experts on the topic, if you'd take it away.
Okay, well, thank you. Hurricane Agnes was what I would characterize as one of the major seminal events in Occoquan's 20th century history, and probably the most transformative one. When Agnes came through, it really devastated much of what we characterize as the town's historic business district today, which is an area of about 6 square blocks. The floodwaters from Agnes came over the Occoquan Dam and wiped away a bridge that used to stand here, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Then the floodwaters also went into the streets of town. Boats that were moored at a marina in town became unmoored and floated through the streets of the town. In addition, it appears that coffins in the local funeral home along Mill Street also ended up floating through the streets of town. Now, prior to Hurricane Agnes coming through, the town of Occoquan had many of the family-run businesses you would often associate with a small American town. It had family-owned grocery stores, hardware stores, as I mentioned, a funeral home, banks, all of those sort of things you would characterize as being an old-style Main Street USA type community. Hurricane Agnes really devastated all of those businesses. And while some of them tried to make a go of it again the following summer, they really just weren't able to do that for the most part. Most closed up, and it was from that point forward that Occoquan started to remake itself into what it is today. Now, if I can take a moment, I'm going to talk a little bit about the bridge that stood where this footbridge stands today. Prior to Hurricane Agnes coming through, Occoquan had right there an iron Pratt truss bridge, which when it was built in 1878 was state-of-the-art. That bridge brought Route 123 down a road on the northern bank of the river, across that one-lane bridge, and through the streets of town. So Route 123 actually used to go right through the town of Occoquan prior to the coming of Hurricane Agnes. Now, in the spring of that year, before Hurricane Agnes came through, the Virginia Department of Highways had wanted to take down that old, almost century-old one-lane bridge and replace it with the bridge that's now where the Route 123 bridge is today. The people of Occoquan opposed that move. They really had an attachment to this bridge, and quite ironically, were very, very, very concerned at the traffic that would be lost if the bridge no longer brought Route 123 through town. So the project was essentially stymied. And then a couple months later, Mother Nature took care of the entire controversy by wiping through here with Agnes and wiping out that bridge that had stood for almost 100 years. We have some really dramatic photographs in the Occoquan Millhouse Museum collection of what are essentially a time-lapse view of that bridge being gradually wiped out by the floodwaters of Agnes. After Agnes came through, wiped out the bridge, the Route 123 bridge was built where it is today.
So that gives you kind of an idea of what happened here over 50 or almost 50 years ago here in Occoquan. So if you get the chance, come down, check out town, visit some of the shops here on Mill Street today. But otherwise, we'll see you again next time.